Brodes Media.
Ask me if I'm surprised, because I'm not. What in the world just happened in Tampa Bay? Let's start off very simple. We don't need to overanalyze anything today. Let's start with when the Eagles showed up to the stadium and when they took the field for the first quarter of this football game. Did they look prepared to you? Did they look like a well-coached football team ready to go to war and have a response when they were playing down a few of their top men? That was arguably one of the most pathetic and embarrassing efforts I've seen in a while, and this team has consistently put out vomit on the field for the last 13 games heading back to last season. And somehow this may be at the top of the list. We are not going to make any excuses. I don't want to hear it that Lane Johnson wasn't available, and thankfully he wasn't available, because I don't know why it was even a discussion that he potentially could have played. He was vomiting on the sidelines last week with the major concussion. We got a bye week up next. I'll live with Fred Johnson and getting sacked 8,000 times when it comes to Lane Johnson's health. But AJ, Devontae, I get it. They were down special players. You got annihilated. You're down 24-0. Should have been 28-0. They dropped a pass in the back of the end zone, bobbled a few times, had to settle for a field goal. You're getting torched with quick throws. You can't tackle. Where's the will? Does this look like a team that's inspired by their coach? You could play undermanned, play hard, still lose, and me not be aggravated with your approach. Believe it or not, I promise you that's a thing, right? I like to use Mike Tomlin as an example a lot of the times. There's times over the Mike Tomlin era in Pittsburgh where maybe they lacked in certain areas, but you know you are getting the maximum out of every guy on that field, at least 90% of them. They don't look like they want to play. They don't look like they want to even attack for one another. C.J. Gardner-Johnson talking that talk, yet making business decisions out on the field. Nakobe Dean, unacceptable tackling. Bryce Huff, once again, barely showing up on the stat sheet. Nolan Smith stinks. And I don't know why Vic Fangio has him in coverage on Godwin. How did you think that was going to play out prior to seeing the snap? Come on, Vic! And think about this. Avonte Maddox is still on the field over Cooper DeJean. Then Cooper DeJean is not good enough. Or they're just making a piss-poor decision by not letting him play. But if you can't beat out Avonte Maddox, then you're not very talented. Now I'm hearing that Avonte Maddox was cramping up. Well, what did you do to prepare? You knew it was going to be hot. You can tell what the weather is. Carter's got to leave. Juergens got to leave. This guy's dehydrated. That guy's dehydrated. From a lack of scheme, a lack of will, a lack of mentality. Run down the list. They clearly did not put themselves in the right positions in every aspect of football. I didn't even get to special teams yet. Spare me the block on the extra point. Their special teams was disgusting. Poor Cooper DeJean. He's getting popped by Ringo and Isaiah Rodgers. I could have swore my man put in a money line bet on Tampa Bay, because why else would you shove somebody into your own returner, which would then force a turnover? He's another one that's posted on social media about controlling what you can control, not happy about playing time. When you publish something online, you're doing it because you want to set eyeballs on it. You're not doing, even if it's descriptive, you're not doing it for anything other than you want others to know that you're not satisfied. Yet you get a shot and you're playing dumb. Okay, whoop-de-doo, you blocked an extra point. Doesn't make up for the dumbest of dumb I've ever seen. Shoving someone into your own returner. Let's get to Jalen. I'm just doing the same thing that I do every week because this is all similar talking points. Jalen Hurts is turning the football over way too much. No presence in the pocket. You just escaped a pass rusher. Where do you think that pass rusher goes when you slide by them? Do they go poof and they go gone and you don't see him ever again? Or is he a half a second right behind you to smack the fucking football out of your hands? He should have been picked off. Should have had 2 fumbles. This happened in the red zone, where I actually thought the Eagles were going to do what the Eagles do. Remember, it was a 2-possession game at the time of that block extra point where they scored and got a couple of points off it, right? Eagles were driving the football. You get into the red zone, and you think, here we go. They're going to do it. They're going to do the game. And this is what I predicted on WIP Saturday night. When I was ending my show at 11 p.m., I gave you my prediction, and I said the Eagles are going to do what they do. They're going to make you want to carve your eyeballs out of your own sockets with a steak knife, slowly, and somehow win where it makes no sense. What was the ending, too, by the way? When there was about 4 or 5 minutes to go, I swear. Here's Hurts in the pocket. The offensive line ends up allowing another sack, another sack, another sack. What are we doing? We're down 1 billion points. There's a couple minutes to go. This has a 0% success rate. It just looks awful. It looks pathetic. Play after play after play. It's the same thing. Hurts in the pocket, looking around, gets demolished, gets insanely pressured. Here comes pressure. Nothing to do, nothing. No answers. You got nothing you can do with it. You get sacked, or you almost throw an interception. Like, what are we? Do we look like incompetent pieces of trash? And this was supposed to be a top-tier offense. Oh, and I'm wrong? I'm wrong for not loving the way that this team was set up with their coaching staff. Okay. Yeah, how dare I? How dare I ask questions about Nick Sirianni? So taking a look here at Nick Sirianni post-game, he says, I didn't have the guys ready to start. Well, no shit. Why? It's the National Football League. Why? Oh, man. He then goes on to continue about looking at not just the scheme, but taking a look at how we can help players fundamentally. You're thinking about that now? We are -6 when it comes to the turnover battle. Nick says, we will reevaluate that. I haven't done a good enough job with that. That is not sustainable when you lose the turnover battle. Well, you can say we got to clean it up all you want. I heard Carson Wentz forever say, I got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. I got to do a better job. Here's the issue. He never did a better job. He never did a better job. And I don't have any sort of gut feel that Nick Sirianni somehow is going to pull it out of his ass and have this team stepping in the right direction with conviction